Where were you during 9/11? Where were you whenever you heard the news of the plane hit?
Okay, so I was living in Austin. I was married and didn't have children yet. Andrew wasn't born. Um, I was going to work. Probably left the house like 7:30 or 8. Was driving to work. I was on Mopac, and all of a sudden they broke in to whatever radio station I was listening to, and they said that a plane had hit one of the Twin Towers, and they didn't know anything else about it. They didn't say it was an airliner like a 737. That it could have been, for all I knew, like a twin engine plane. They didn't even say anything else. They just said plane had hit the Twin Towers, and that the Twin Towers were going to be fine. That they were, sound. There was nothing in the world that could take them down. So even though it was weird, it wasn't super alarming. It was just a really good story for about 5 minutes.
Were you directly affected by 9/11? Meaning, did you know anyone that died? Did you have any family members that died or were affected by it?
I was not directly affected by it. The only thing that we were really affected by is that Andrew's dad actually worked for a huge money management firm that was in the second Twin Tower, called Oppenheimer Funds. And they had these really strict protocols in place that if any kind of a bomb threat was ever called in, or any kind of a security issue was even, anything that remotely could happen, they had these, we need to evacuate immediately type orders. It was just a company policy. So as soon as that plane hit the first tower, they evacuated all their employees from the second tower, and they ended up being one of the biggest companies that did not lose one employee when the towers came down, because they were all evacuated. They were all gone. So that was a really cool story. And his boss actually tells the story of getting out of Manhattan and having to walk home to New Jersey, and it was riveting to hear it.
How did you do during the 2001 recession? Did you lose money? Did you lose a job, etc.?
My company was not related to anything that would have lost money by 9/11, so no, I did not lose my job. I would say the only money that we really lost was because of our, since my husband's works with financial advisors, we of course believe in the stock market, and we're investing and that sort of thing. So there could have been some loss in a portfolio, but we didn't sell anything, so it wasn't really a loss at that point. Your balance just goes up and down. So no, I was not directly affected financially from the event.
Have you ever heard of the Al-Qaeda, or had you ever heard of the Al-Qaeda or any terrorist organization to that degree before 9/11?
No, I had never heard of Al-Qaeda, didn't know how to pronounce it, thought it looked strange. Nobody knew who bin Laden was. Terrorism was not even a deal then. I know that Bush had to deal with it, and of course there's things that the CIA knew that average Americans did not know, but we did not have protocols in place at airports. We didn't have all these screenings that you have to go through now, mistrust of anyone that is from the Middle East. There was none of that. So all of that it was really quick that a bunch of that came into our lives, and terrorism, and all of a sudden you became aware of a lot more stuff that you never knew about that was going on behind the scenes, and that the government had been tracking. But never had heard of Al-Qaeda, never heard of bin Laden. Of course, then all of a sudden the U.S. is in a war. It was pretty crazy.
Thank you for your time.